Hi there, the Wayrider says it's time to talk about Boeing, that extremely large American aircraft manufacturer. The latest Boeing debacle happened a few days ago and is over the LATAM flight LA 800 that was flying from Sydney to Auckland, where a Boeing 787, also known as Dreamliner, went into a sudden, unplanned, steep dive, an equally steep recovery. This is known as a bunt in pilot speak. A sudden nose-down input pushes the plane into 0 or minus g, gravity, then back to level flight at 1g, putting everything, and more importantly, everybody who is not strapped in or not tied down, boom, up onto the ceiling, and then slamming them back down on the floor. Not very nice. An investigation, obviously, will determine whether this was a technical or pilot error. However, the issue here for Boeing is that this is yet another incident involving one of their manufactured aircraft. On top of the Air Alaska "we lost the back door" incident, not to belittle that incident, it was very nasty, but which comes on top of a long problem of certification with the replacement to the current 737, the 737 MAX. The 737 MAX certification delays and problems, which after the Air Alaska incident have got worse, are causing delivery delays. These carriers use the 737 as their workhorse for what is called short-haul, narrow-bodied aircraft flights. These delays have caused, for example, another American airline called Southwest Airlines to announce that effectively this will affect this year's earnings, and they have reduced expectations of what they will make this year. The only real competitor for the 737 and the subsequent 737 MAX is the Airbus A320 family of aircraft. Although the Brazilian Embraer 175 does compete to a certain degree, but in reality there are only two worldwide aircraft manufacturers, Boeing and Airbus. Of course, this is happy news for Airbus, because they have to make up, or they will try and make up the shortfall, but they cannot make up the entire shortfall of delayed deliveries for Boeing 737 MAX. So let's hop across to Shanghai in China, where the Commercial Aircraft Corporation of China, otherwise known as COMAC, manufactures the C919. The C919 is essentially a similar or Chinese equivalent for Boeing 737 and the Airbus A320. Development started way back in 2008. It's not easy to manufacture a new aircraft from scratch, but things have started to pick up. They have currently 738 orders, mainly to Chinese virtually entirely to Chinese airlines and Chinese aircraft leasing companies, except Brunei Gallop Air, which has 15 aircraft on order and which will make them the first non-Chinese and Southeast Asian operator of the C919. On the 4th of January this year, 2024, CAAC, the manufacturer of this C919, announced that it will work with EASA, the European Union Aviation Safety Agency, on the validation for the C919 aircraft airworthiness certificates. Without it, it cannot fly in European airspace. With the current climate around US and Chinese relations, there is no way that the US equivalent, the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, will get anywhere near authorizing a Chinese competitor to Boeing anytime soon. That's a different issue. What is interesting is that rather like the Chinese electronic vehicle manufacturer BYD, the Chinese manufacturer of the C919 is moving first into Europe. BYD has managed to move into Europe with a stylish and much more affordable equivalent to Tesla's offerings. And well, these are worldwide statistics, but BYD has equaled, or is not, depending on which statistic you're looking at, has surpassed Tesla's manufacturing output. It is getting interesting. All it will take is for a large Euro carrier, such as Ryanair, to put its weight behind the European certification, because Ryanair, they were right from the beginning looking at the C919. So if they put their weight behind or try to lobby for a European certification of this aircraft, Boeing is going to have a much bigger problem. Why? Because it will not only have one competitor, but two. Remember, at the moment, there are basically only two passenger aircraft manufacturers, Boeing and Airbus. Boeing has production difficulties, as outlined here. Airbus cannot make up the difference. The Chinese will come in and try extremely hard to make up for that shortfall. See you guys.